What up, gamers? Gonna be taking a look at the Ultraglide Ultrabrake Mouse Skates. You might be wondering if, you probably aren't, but no, let's be real. But I've already done a video on these Ultrabrake skates, but apparently these are different. Apparently one's matte, one's like glossy. I don't know, man. They're just different. I looked on the AliExpress website or page, and they're different apparently. I thought they sent me two of the same ones. That's why I looked it up. But yeah, this is gonna be one of the last Ultraglide skates I'm gonna be looking at, because I only have one more that I haven't seen, the Ultra Speeds. So I've looked at all the other ones. So if you wanted to see those videos, I probably have those up. I don't know, but I've looked at all of these so far. Yeah. But we're going to take a look at the Ultrabrake because, well, one, it's a little bit different, so I guess I'm curious, but also, two, I've been wanting to use a control skate as of like right now, so I'm not going to lie, it's I just hopefully it's good. Anyways, here are the skates. These have a layer, not a layer, they have a plastic film on them. If you've seen my other videos, I've mentioned it 1,000 times. Oh, these come off really easily. That was weird. What? Are these shaped like differently? Like, do you see how like they're already like peeling off? That's the plastic peel. I wonder if these are like, okay, whatever. Let's try putting them on. Okay, let's see. In terms of feel, these feel very similar, of course, but what I would say is these do feel like the glossier ones. I could be wrong. I don't particularly remember like the feel exactly, but if I recall, these do feel like the glossier versions just because they feel smoother, like like slippery, more slippery. So maybe that means they're a little bit less control. I don't know. Maybe a side by side is in order, considering they're the same. They have a very similar name. In fact, they have the same name. I don't even know if on the packaging they have any differentiators, but they somehow gave me both. So yeah, one thing that's weird is the plastic is already, this is the most loose any of the plastic has ever been. The other ones have been a little bit more difficult to get off. And like these already look like they're coming off, so I wonder if that's something to do with the shape, with the PTFE itself. I don't know, but it seems to be all these. I don't know, could have just been a manufacturing kind of thing. QC problem, I don't know. Alright, that's the last one. Here we go. Here are the four skates. They're pretty dark skates, they look pretty cool. Nice. In terms of like, here's how they look like right now. They seem to have a not as flat. Yeah, these feel slightly different. I have a feeling these will be a little bit faster than the other ones. So yeah, let's give them a go. Let's try on different things like my glass pads, like the Wraith. I don't know why I said Ultra, because the Ultraglide, I guess. I'll be trying it on the Cosmic Wraith. Cosmic Glass V2 Evil Edition. It's not even Wraith. I guess that's the company that made it. And other stuff like that. So let's give it a go. Oh. Yeah, these definitely feel hold on, is there something feels wrong off about them? I wonder if there's like some sort of like, no, that looks about right for the most part. Okay, I think these are a little, yeah, these are fast. These are definitely faster, but these are still very controlled. So maybe those would be considered mud skates, I guess, for some people. And this is pretty much a good balance, I'd say. This is what I would consider a control skate, and like a good one too. It doesn't feel too much, and still, something with the Ultraglide skates I've seen is that they've all been really quiet. These are a little bit louder, but I'd still say pretty quiet in relativity, especially compared to like, just anything, I guess, like even, well, these are unfair representation. These kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie, but even then, like, you know what I mean? Versus, it's pretty quiet. Not the most quiet ones out of the Ultraglide lineup though, so something to keep in mind. But yeah, in terms of feel, feels a little bit faster, more slippery, kind of like you would expect, I suppose. It's still controlled though, so just only comparing it to the other Ultraglide brake skates. Anyways, let's take a look on the desk mat, and then after that we will try it on my other glass pads. So here we go. Really smooth, has this like, this is a good feel. This is a very like straightforward, very controlled, but like good feel. I like it. It does move pretty fast in terms of dynamic friction, more than you would think, I suppose. Like, it just feels like it. Doesn't feel that much ever, even though it has a lot of stopping power, as you can see, so that's strange in terms of feel versus what it is. Yeah, static friction is about medium. It's not like super like terrible. It's good. I like it. All right, let's try another glass pad. Let's try it on the Guardian, the fastest pad. Oops, you didn't see. That didn't happen. All right. Yeah, this slows down the Guardian considerably. Wow, a lot actually. Like there's a lot more tug. Like this, wow. It's still faster as you can see. Like you can see it, like it goes farther. But in terms of static friction, like the tug is actually basically the same. Honestly, it's pretty strong. So this could be good if you want just a little bit more static friction. Maybe you're playing a attack FPS game with the Guardian. I don't know, but it is more controlled. It just happens to be, you know, a little bit faster because the Guardian's faster. But still very controlled actually. Like surprisingly control more, I guess. Or maybe not surprising, I don't know. Just more controlled than I expected, I suppose. Still has that really, like I said, strong dynamic or static friction though, or stronger. Like I feel the tug going back and forth. It's noticeable. It isn't like super like, you know, like really, but it is very noticeable. So maybe that's something you won't like. But overall, not too bad. All right, lastly but not least, the Singularity. That didn't happen. Singularity glass pad from Tekasai. Not as smooth as you might think, considering, I mean, as I maybe expected, but you know what, it's still okay. It's still, you know, quiet overall, compared to other skates, that is. The tugging power is actually a lot less. Well, not a lot less, but it's less than I'd expect. Like it's maybe about the same as the Guardian, and that's weird considering this is a lot more slower. So I don't know, maybe, I don't know, just something to keep in mind. In terms of dynamic, you can see it does stop pretty quickly. So it's, yeah, control skate on a balance pad basically. So yeah, overall feel so far, I like them. They're really I mean, they're basic. Don't get me wrong. So far, like they're just control skates. You know, what else can you do with them? You know, what else? I'm not gonna be like, you know, but overall, they seem very solid. They seem definitely on the so the other Ultraglide brake skates are even more controlled. I think I could be wrong. Maybe it's up to the texture of the glass pad. I don't know. But from what I recall, I feel like they were a little bit more controlled. But these are, well, at least on the Singularity, it's actually very close. But on the other pads, they do feel a little bit faster. So on the Singularity, it actually feels a lot closer though. Maybe it's just because they're actually worn in a little bit. I don't really know, but huh. I thought they were more different than on the other pads, but right here these do feel very similar if I recall the other Ultraglide brake skins. I'll have to give them a go. Maybe side by side would help, but as of now, these do just feel like a smooth control skate. Like they do have heavy tug though, so if that's something you don't want, but you know, it is still relatively smooth, and this feels like it's good for TAC FPS or like you know, yeah. So overall, honestly, looks like a solid skate. I'm gonna have to give it a go. I probably will try this because I've been looking to try some control skates as of like right now recently, so we'll give it a go. Maybe I'll have an update on it, but yeah, that's gonna be the Ultraglide. That'll be the Ultraglide Ultra Brake skins. Mouse feet. Jesus Christ. But yeah, these are going to be the slightly different version because the other ones are just slightly different. I don't know exactly what they're different. These do look more glossy or have like a different finish. I don't know. These feel slightly different, I can tell, but these are very similar skates, that's for sure. And they're both controlled. So honestly, this felt faster on some pads, but on this pad, I think it was about the same. I don't know. There's slight differences. I'd have to do a side by side. But basically, another control skate, solid. Probably nothing special. These are very close to each other, as you would imagine. So yeah, that's gonna be my video on the Ultraglide Ultra Brake skins. That's a lot of Ultra. So yeah, if you want to see a full review of these, a comparison between the other ones, feel free to leave a like, sub, and maybe comment down below. If you have any questions at all, you can also leave a comment down below. Other than that, I think that's going to be my video for the first impressions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.